least Evan's gonna keep it fun for like 40 people to show up. He's good, yeah. Yeah, don't worry about it, buddy. Oh wait, no, this is mine. There. This one's not even. Okay, so it's this one.
Did you guys find someone to do camera right now?
No, we haven't found anyone. Welcome, one and all, to the Raiders Sports Network. Action of Pine Creek Regis Jesuit here tonight. As the clock ticks down, we get ready to start this game. Hudson Ridley alongside Cam Buehler for this one. Very even matchup coming into today. Stats completely split between not only both quarterbacks in the passing game, but also in the running game. Very, very split. Pine Creek coming in with a 7-1 record. The two opponents that they have crossover with, Chaparral, both teams beat. Legend, both teams lost to. About as even on paper as you get. We'll try to keep you fully updated with Pine Creek. We do not have a physical roster here tonight, so whatever it says on Max Preps goes. We had an issue last week against Doherty with the same thing, where we may have credited about 200 rushing yards to someone else for most of the game. Turns out it wasn't them, so we'll try not to have that mistake tonight as we get set for kickoff in Lou Kellogg Stadium. McCullough coming on to take this one. Armed Forces Appreciation Night here at Lou Kellogg, and we also have a bunch of 8th graders visiting. I believe it's the athletic showcase, Cam, today?
Possibly. Not 100% sure on that. What I am excited for, though, talking about the football game tonight, is just those even stats that we're seeing here. It's going to be, on paper, a very hard game for both teams. It's going to be a fight here, both offensively and defensively. Time to see what's going to happen. Time to see if those paper stats are going to translate into the game.
Cannon Budge back deep to return here as we are underway. Under the lights in Lou Kellogg Stadium, Budge tracks this one down, fields it. He's making a cut towards the right sideline, and ran into a wall. Absolutely met and bent backwards. Great hit there. Looks like on that side it was Dervin Taylor. Xavier Carroll was also over there. Not sure who will get credit for that tackle. There's a bunch of bodies in the area. We are excited to see what both teams can bring to the table. Josiah Roy, starting quarterback. In the backfield, Zion Hill. Wide receiver, bottom of your screen, Caden Cosins. Excuse me, that is Luke Tolliver.
Number 4, Brooks Garrett.
Josiah Roy takes the snap, handoff Hill up the middle. He'll pick up a couple, but slammed back into that Raider wall.
Run by number 8, Zion Hill.
Really speaking here, Regis's defensive line is possibly one of the better in the state. They just have that total control of the wall with like two huge guys like Jaden Franklin in there. I believe that's also Tyler Brutu in there, I believe as well. And then two total monsters on the outside there with Andrew Metzger and Nooney Tinatelli.
Yep. Pass. Oh, I was about to say missed outside. Fantastic grab from number 31, Jerry Lydiat. Ended up losing his team yards, though. Definitely one that you want to drop. Pass went into the backfield, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 10. Credited with a loss of 2 on the play. Roy in the shotgun. To his right, Hill. Roy takes the snap, design, roll out right. Eyes downfield, and he'll get chased down. Xavier Carroll had a hand on him. Gets back up and throws that one downfield. But no completion. Xavier Carroll, the starting running back, making that play there.
Good pickup there by Xavier. Keeping the QB kind of inside there. He was moving out pretty far. You don't really want that to happen. I'm not 100% sure on this QB speed, but no matter what, if you get an open field for just an above-average QB, it's going to be really good for that offense.
Also, shout-out, by the way, to Xavier Carroll, who received an offer from University of Bethany. So this punt goes in the air and a whistle blown. We shall see what the call is. Don't see a flag on the field.
Yeah, I have no clue what the call was. There isn't even a flag. They just kind of stopped the play there.
Yeah, maybe they weren't set. That's the only thing I could assume is that they just weren't set. Okay, are they going to give an automatic first down here?
Prior to the snap, illegal participation on Regis.
Okay.
Will be
I am.
placed on the 42-yard line. Please turn this down. First down, Pine Creek.
Not sure what the penalty was. Could not tell. It's a first down, though, for Pine Creek. So, in a punt situation, they get off the field. Excuse me, not off the field. They stay on the field. 1st and 10 upcoming from Pine Creek. Referee also asking the PA system to be turned down. Valid. Regardless, Roy in the shotgun here takes the snap, handoff Hill. Hill running right side, trying to pick up a lane. Won't do so. Dives forward for a few extra, but not much on that gain. It'll bring up a 2nd and about 6.
Yeah, looks like it. Pretty good just fight there in the middle of the trenches. It looks like both teams are kind of just hitting each other and staying at that wall. Nobody's really getting pushed back too far.
Yeah, exactly. Like we mentioned, it's an even matchup coming in today for the stats, and based on muscle, what we've seen so far looks like the same deal. Man in motion here. They'll hand it off to the outside. A lane is opening up, and down the sideline he goes. Streaking to the end zone. It's Cannon Budge. And the Eagles strike first.
Number 4, Cannon Budge.
That's that outside open lane I was talking about. That's so dangerous for the defense. You get somebody that's fast like that. I mean, he was picking up very good speed there. He was moving. And you just get somebody like that on the outside, you can't really get him. I mean, you just have to pray that the safety can over get him. Maybe the corner can just make a play. But you can't be betting on 2 players on a team game.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I like that idea. It was, oh, my goodness, an absolute laser into the crowd. He was trying to hurt someone. Not the best way to welcome the 8th graders that we have here tonight is that missile gets sent into the stands. Extra point is no good. 9:57 on the clock in the first half. As we mentioned, Eagles striking first, but now it's the Raiders' turn on offense. Eagles elected to receive. So now the Raiders will get their chance. DeAndre Barnes, fastest man in the state, back deep to return this one.
Okay, kickoff for Pine Creek. We have number 9, Ian Johnson. And back to receive for Regis, number 17, DeAndre Barnes.
Kickoff. Sent deep here. Fielded on the back line, Barnes. Barnes trying to find a hole, picks up a good block, tries to cut to the outside, and he's dropped right at the 20-yard line. That's where the Raiders will start their drive. Barnes trying to slip out of a tackle there, just good form.
Really good tackling there. Just really good defense, I think, to kick. I was going to say don't kick it to Barnes, as you could kick it to one of those 3 guys that they had in the front there. They may be good with their hands. They may be a little bit fast, but they're not as fast as DeAndre, and that's what you want. That's what you want to receive the ball. You don't want the fastest guy on the field to hold that ball.
Exactly. We saw that last week with a few squib kicks that the Raiders bobbled. Carroll in the shotgun. Sends Barnes in motion. He'll go behind formation. Carroll up the middle. Will gain a couple.
The run by number 7, Xavier Carroll.
We'll see where they spot him. It'll be a 2nd and 8. Clock continuing to run here as we go under 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Same setup on the field. He'll take the snap, fake the handoff, cutting up the middle. Carroll trying to find a lane, brought down. Had a lane, but
number 14,
but it collapsed fairly quickly. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and long for the Raiders.
Yeah, I think here the biggest thing you've seen throughout the season for the Raiders is that their offense just hasn't been what it can be. I mean, just looking at the players, the talent that they have out on that field, it could be one of the best offenses in the state, but they just have not been able to do anything with it.
Yep. Shotgun snap. Carroll looking left side, throws it up for Metzger. Metzger makes the catch, and he got the yardage. Raiders moving the chains.
Caught by number 27, Andrew Metzger for a first down.
Good play from Carroll there to stay composed in the pocket, looking downfield, finding Metzger. You like those matchups where Metzger has the height advantage, decided to pick on that one, and it was successful. Raiders move the chains, 1st and 10.
Really good blocking there by the O-line, too, allowing him to stay in the pocket, not having to worry about moving out, throwing the ball on the run, making that low percentage pass. You don't want that to happen.
Barnes in motion. They'll flip it to him on the jet sweep. Barnes trying to get the edge. He does. Down the sideline, DeAndre Barnes hit hard.
Pass by Carroll to number 17, DeAndre Barnes.
He'll have the yardage. And he'll stay out there on the field. DeAndre Barnes, tough there. Staying inbounds as we tick down to around 8 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Really good just jet sweep there. That's the speed that you got to fear. That's the speed that's going to kill you. Can't really do anything about that rather than just trying to close that gap. But, I mean, it doesn't look like those DNs are fast enough to be able to get there in time.
Carroll from the shotgun. Screen to Macias. Macias picking up blocking. Trying to cut it to the middle. Staying on his feet.
We have a pass by Carroll.
He'll gain a couple there.
Dallas Macias.
We'll bring up 2nd and medium. Raiders looking to the sideline for the play call. Bottom of your screen, Luke Ford in the slot, Macias up top, Barnes. Metzger in at tight end, Carroll at quarterback and at running back. Metzger will motion across the formation, fakes the handoff, cutting towards the right side, trying to find some daylight, but looks like it'll be a tackle for a loss of about 1.
Loss of 1 on the play, brings up 3rd and 7.
So they'll call it a 3rd and 7. Raiders converting on their last 3rd down. Carroll takes the shotgun snap, looking right side, going through his progressions, a bomb downfield. He has Barnes. Oh, and just missed. Past his outstretched hands, got pushed.
Pass intended for number 17, DeAndre Barnes, is incomplete. Brings up 4th and 7.
Crowd's not too happy about that one. There we go. Crowd's not too happy about that one. Really good, I think, pass there. I think he's just trying to find that ball over the top is just very hard to do. You can't really blame DeAndre for that one too hard. Having that helmet, those pads, getting your head around to actually find the ball in the darkness. Very hard and you just got to be very, very talented. And I think DeAndre has that talent. It's just you got to keep being able to do it consistently.
Yeah, and consistency is, the real thing. Sometimes, we see some drops from this team, but, sometimes we see some spectacular catches. DeAndre Barnes last week had one of the best catches, maybe the best catch I've ever seen at Regis. So there's a lot of ups and downs, but, based on the record, as you could imagine, there's more good than not, but they just really have to keep it up as Gehrig is on to punt, back deep to return. Number 1, Ramon Pacheco. Gehrig, a high punt here. Good angle. This one will take a nice bounce. And go down. Oh, can we get it to the 1? Can we get it to the 1? We can't.
Number 4, Brooks Gehrig on the punt.
Longtime listeners of the Raider Sports Network will know that I'm a sucker for a good punt. Very good one right there. Took a nice bounce, had some good hang time. That's what we like to see. 1st and 10 Eagles. They lead 6-0.
Really good field position here for the Raiders defense. Hopefully getting that safety, if possible, getting a sack there. This is going to put way too much pressure on that O-line to actually just do everything perfectly, and that's what you want. You want that pressure on that O-line especially.
Yeah, and we know they can get a lot of pressure off the edge with Tuatelli and Metzger. Let's see if they can here. Roy out of the shotgun will take it himself up the middle. Gain of a few. Not going to pick up much.
Number 12, Roy on the
Maybe about a gain of 3. They'll say a gain of 5. Am I crazy? No. They have it on the board as a gain of 3. Definitely not a gain of 5.
Looking here, I don't think this Pine Creek offense is going to be passing too much. I mean, they've passed maybe once. I don't even think
A few times. We saw them get a passing touchdown, but that was mostly relying on the speed of Budge and not really the arm talent of Roy as he takes the shotgun snap, handoff, Hill up the middle, stuffed there. He'll gain a few, but it'll bring up a third down, third and around 4 or 5.
That's why I'm saying he's going to be running a lot more here. This running back can take a hit really well and keep his legs going. I mean, he can take a hit and move probably 1 or 2 more yards, which is just very, very impactful.
Hill, not the biggest bodied running back, especially not when you compare him to our Xavier Carroll. But like you mentioned, that ability to keep moving those legs. Roy in the shotgun on a 3rd and 4. He'll take the snap, looking to the sideline, and it's a drop. Raider defense comes up big on a 3rd and 4 through the hands of Luke Tolliver, and the punt team is coming on. Now, we saw the punt team come on earlier, got a penalty before the snap, as this one will go off unpenalized. This one a high kick, but not good for field position, and this one's going to take a Raider bounce out towards the sideline. About as unfortunate as it gets for field position reasons. It was a sky-high kick. If you're looking to take time off the clock, that'll do it. But in the first quarter, you're trying to flip field position there, not what you want. 1st and 10 Raiders.
I mean, I've kicked like that a couple of times with Pee Wee football, but haven't really seen that in high school too much.
Yeah, exactly. I used to be a goalie for soccer. I had some pretty good punts. I still got it a little bit, and sometimes that wind can really kill you, but the wind is going in their direction, so I don't really know how much you can play it off on that. Medina in the backfield. Carroll will take the snap, design, roll out right, looking downfield, has Taylor. Taylor's man slipped, and he overshoots him. Had Taylor there, broke off his man, but unable to complete it. 2nd and 10.
It is just that arm for Carroll, just getting that down there, getting that accuracy correct. That accuracy, it may look easy because you see it all the time in the NFL, but those players are just the best of the best. You get a high school quarterback like Xander out here. He's very good for his age. Yeah,
and Xander's got time, too. He's a junior. This isn't like it's his last year. And, accuracy is developable. When we look at accuracy, it's more developable, I'd say, than arm strength. When we look at NFL quarterbacks like Josh Allen, that's the first one I can think of. I was going to start listing off more. You could say Justin Herbert. Like, those guys develop their accuracy. They have the arm strength, and Carroll has that as well. Carroll will take the snap here. Hand off Medina up the middle. Medina makes a cut, and he'll pick up decent yardage on 2nd down. It'll bring up 3rd and medium. 3rd and 5 upcoming for the Raiders. Awaiting the play call from the sideline. Receivers out there, top of your screen, DeAndre Barnes, bottom of your screen, Ford. Taylor will be in the slot. We have Medina in the backfield at running back, Tuatelli in there at tight end, and of course Carroll in at quarterback. No safeties playing very high. Maybe they'll look to take a deep shot. Barnes in motion. Instead, they'll hand it off up the middle. Medina trying to keep those legs moving, but brought down. It'll be a 4th and 3, they'll call it. Actually, they'll say 4th and 1 on the board after a gain of 3 on a 3rd. Whatever. The PA and the scoreboard are always going to be a little off. It's definitely not a 4th and 1. I do not know what's on the board for. I'm going to estimate it around a 4th and 4. And the Raiders will stay out on the field, definitely in no man's land. Don't want to punt from the opponent's 27, but a field goal from this range against the wind could be tough. Carroll will take the snap. They'll hand off a 3rd time in a row. Medina trying to keep the legs moving up the middle. He won't. Raiders run it on a 4th and 4. And we'll bring up a 1st down for Pine Creek.
Yeah, I'm not a coach out there, but personally, I would have done a pass play right in the middle, getting either Andrew Metzger or Noonan Tunatelli on one of those quick little, 2-yard, 3-yard routes. They're going to be able to pick up an extra couple yards after that catch. And even we got some speedster wide receivers out there that we can use to even get deeper than that.
Yeah, and, Medina, he's great for that burst, but, if you run him 3 plays in a row, especially on a 4th and 4, 4th and 1, like it said on the board, maybe, but a 4th and 4, that's just tough. Looks like Roy will go under center here and hand it off. I didn't even see him. He was crouched so low under the center that I couldn't see him. Few yards on the gain there. We'll bring up 2nd and around 6. We'll call it a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, and picking up 3 to 4 yards every run play is going to get you down that field slowly. It's going to be a grind of a movement up that field, but Pine Creek has been able to do that.
Handoff outside, stopped by Macias. Good stop there to prevent extra yardage, as that one looked like it could break it big. We'll see if they give them the spot. They will. 1st and 10 Eagles. And their offense is starting to cook. They're using the open spaces of the field, and, using that speed. It's tough to outspeed the Raiders, and they're not really doing that, but, they're taking good angles as Roy will go back under center. Hill in the backfield. Tolliver, bottom of your screen. They'll hand it off. Budge, a hold on the sideline, and they'll call it. You had to call that one. He was waiting on it. He did not want to call that one, but they forced his hand. Garrig set the edge to make a good tackle. Number 13 has his hands out. He's asking, what did I do? You know what you did? You held him and you brought him to the ground. Garrick was going to make that tackle. Couldn't do so. That'll move him back.
Biggest thing there is he got his arms super locked out when he was doing that hold. You can hold somebody. It's still technically not allowed, but you can hold somebody, keep them close to your chest. The refs aren't going to be able to see that. His arms got fully extended out there. You could see him just tugging at that jersey. And it's gonna push him back, and it's just, you can't be doing that.
Yeah, it's a perfect point about those extended arms because, it makes it so much more obvious. And, he tried to argue his case there, but, those extended arms really sold him. Clock will continue to run as we tick down. Under 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Eagles lead 6-0. Roy in the shotgun has Hill to his left. He'll take the snap on a 1st and 20. Handoff Hill up the middle, trying to fight for a few extra. He'll get a couple, but 2nd and very long.
And they are using their running backs so much here that when it gets to the third quarter, I feel like these running backs are going to be just ended up just dead right now. They are being used almost every single play. There's been 3 to 4 to 5 plays here where they passed just like now.
Yep, pass and towards the sideline, just a little low there. Taylor in coverage, looked like he was trying to do a little comeback, blanketed there by Taylor. Good man coverage corner. Speaking of man coverage corners, we're missing Harvey here tonight. Big piece for this team. We'll see how the Raiders respond with that.
And going back to my original point, these running backs are going to be dead by the third quarter. They're not going to be able to take those big hits that they're taking at the moment. Those big hits get to you very, very quickly.
Yeah, and, Hill looks dirty, is dropping back to pass. Metzger in his face, somehow completes the pass to Hill, getting down the middle and picking up yardage. Not sure how he did that. Spun out of a lot of tackles there. Looked like a near impossible throw. Looks like Metzger was guarding the pass a little bit, not going at it full speed, just trying to bat it down. Smarter play, but even while he was under duress, still got it off. We'll bring up a punt situation, though, on a 4th and 5. Punt is up in the air. This one's a better one than last time, and it'll take a perfect bounce for Pine Creek. Oh, boy. I said I like good punts. Maybe not the circumstance where I like good punts. Downed very, very close to the goal line. That's where the Raiders will start their next drive. Unable to get anything going on the first drive. Picked up a couple of first downs, but not enough to get points on the board. Ended up in no man's land. Had to go for it on a 4th and 4, and a run up the middle just got stopped. We'll see what they do here. Medina will come back out onto the field, the one who ran it on the 4th and 4. Carroll will sub off. Carroll in the shotgun. Medina to his left. Macias in the slot. Carroll will take the snap. Hand off Medina. Fight gets through a little bit of a hole there. I was going to say fights through a hole, was basically untouched going through that hole. Just slipped through those tacklers. Made a little bit of a bridge, and he slid right under. Only a gain of a few brings up 2nd and 8. Raiders making a few substitutions here. Luke Ford will head to the top of your screen and Barnes to the bottom. Reversal of formation here. Metzger will line up as the tight end. And a whistle before we start. Looks like that will be the end of the quarter. So with that, we're going to take a little break on the Raider Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler. We will see you in just a moment. Thank you for tuning in. Back with you now on the Raiders Sports Network. Carroll in the shotgun on a 2nd and 8. Looking downfield. Pass intended there for looks like Metzger to bring up a 3rd and 8.
Yeah, I couldn't really see that one too well, but it did look like he kind of got jumped on there. I would say pretty good coverage. Possibly could have been a pass interference, though.
Yeah, they were on him quick, and they didn't give him much of a chance pre-play there. Excuse me, not pre-play, but pre-pass there. But regardless, it'll bring up a 3rd and 8. Medina in the backfield, designed rollout. Carroll eyes downfield, and he'll be brought down. Number 34 on the sack, Brett Alvey. Will bring up a 4th and long for the Raiders.
Yeah, that's just I think that's just blocking there, really. I mean, he had 2 open defenders on him. He had 2 white shirts on a single red QB. It's just not going to go over good.
Yeah, exactly. And, as we see, snap a little low, punt high here. Going to be fielded, running towards the left sideline. Good play to track him down. Woo! Great play to track him down by Anthony Medina. But as we mentioned, that blocking, it can be tough on, looked like a bootleg there. It was designed rollout to Carroll's weak side. That can be a little tough on that blocking. But, if you're going to block that way, still got to make that work. Because there's a flag on the field. It'll be a hold against Pine Creek. So that'll move them back a few yards.
I think it canceled out. I think there was 2 holds.
Oh, there was 2 holds? Okay. So offsetting penalties won't move anyone anywhere. And we will pick up on a 1st and 10.
This Raider defense has been decent throughout the game. I think they could be a lot better than what they're doing so far. I mean, that they're just getting to that outside. That Pine Creek offense is getting to that outside. Shutting that down is going to be the big thing here. Getting those defensive ends just around the block and to close and push those guys into the middle of the field where everybody else is.
You're exactly right, because they're trying to go to that open space. It's all about setting the edge on the outside, and, we're homers here on the Raider Sports Network. We're not afraid to admit there's a timeout there, but, there can be a little bit of tough love. A 1st and 10 with 11:14 on the clock coming up after this timeout. And with this timeout, we're going to take a timeout here on the Raider Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler. We will see you in just a moment. Thank you. Back with you for a Pine Creek 1st and 10. Takes the snap. Hill up the middle. Dives for a couple. Was tripped up immediately on the line and just had to dive for a few. Did so successfully. It'll bring up a 2nd and around 7 or 8.
Getting a little scrappy out here. Don't know if you saw that, but it looked like number 59 got a little bit scrappy there with 8.
We'll keep a look on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to get scrappy here in this game with an even kind of set here.
Handoff outside. Budge, he slips. Cannon Budge couldn't put his foot in the ground there. We saw him use his speed on that touchdown in the first quarter. Tried to turn upfield maybe too quickly. Planted that foot and whoop. Little banana peel. Mario Kart banana peel out there. Hit him with the woo. Little spin out. 3rd down and 8 upcoming. They'll actually call it 3rd and 10. They'll say he lost 2. Hill in the backfield still. Roy under center. Tolliver, bottom of the screen. Man in motion. Roy will take the snap. Pressure immediately. A hold on the offensive line. Logan Hilliard was just getting grabbed all over. Still a 4th and 8. Woo, boy.
It is getting scrappy out.
Oh, my goodness.
It's kind of fun to watch a little bit of scrappy over game. Get to see a little bit of hits here and there that you wouldn't really see if everybody was just kind of playing along nicely. So I am excited to see how this goes here. And a punt.
High snap here. Tuatelli blowing up the blocking there. Macias will just field this one. Nooney Tuatelli, we've been saying it all year. We're on a campaign to get him raised from a 3-star to a 4-star. Just absolutely blew up that blocking. Nearly got a hand on the punt. Sailed high and fielded by Macias. Raiders down 6-0. We haven't seen any scoring since that first quarter touchdown from the Eagles. Missed extra point leaves us at 6-0. If you're just joining us here on the Raider Sports Network, thank you for tuning in. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler. We have a great night of action for you here tonight. Not our usual setup. Usually we have more graphics, a lot more fun stuff. We have a pregame. We don't even have paper rosters here tonight, so we're going off of Max Preps. Usually we have a lot better stuff, but we're working on a short week here tonight. This is our Thursday night game like the Broncos played last night. We're on a short week. As Carroll will go from the shotgun here. Handoff Carroll up the middle, fighting through bodies there and pushing the pile. They only spot him for a gain of around 1. 2nd and 9 now.
I think that's what we're talking about here. Personally, I believe looking at just the Raider offense, those, getting those short gains, getting those, first downs after every 3 to 4 plays, it's cool, kind of, but I think getting passes, getting those wide receivers, those tight ends, the ball, middle field, outfield, is just going to be 10 times better.
They'll try it downfield looking for Macias. Maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there. Probably thought Ford was going to go downfield. Pass incomplete. It'll bring up a 3rd and 8. But, yeah, as you mentioned, picking up, 2-3 yards a carry, at some point maybe you want to switch to those, drag routes over the middle. You have DeAndre Barnes, fastest man in the state. We've seen him score a touchdown in the last 3 or 4 games, most of them being on those drag routes, those slants, getting your guys with speed to the open field like the Eagles did. As we'll have a timeout here for the Raiders. But yeah, getting your guys who have that speed to the open field, allowing them to turn the corner and pick up big yardage plays, that's something you have to do. With that timeout, we're also going to take a timeout here on the Raider Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler. We will see you in just a moment. Thank you. Back with you for a 3rd and 8 on the Raider Sports Network. Carroll takes the shotgun snap, looking downfield, has a man, and just outside of the outstretched hands of DeAndre Barnes. That'll bring up a 4th and 8. Frustrating start here for the Raiders. Still unable to put points on the board. And another punt upcoming. We mentioned it tonight. This is going to be an even split game. When you see a team like Pine Creek on the roster coming from Colorado Springs, you think, oh, we played Doherty last week as this punt is off from Garrick. Good punt, but it'll take an unfortunate bounce. Tuatelli will field it. But yeah, when you think about it, it's like, oh, we played Doherty last week. They're from Colorado Springs. They play in the same division. How would that shake up? We beat Doherty last week 56-3. Pine Creek, not one of those teams. 7-1 coming into today. As we mentioned, the only 2 crossover opponents, Chaparral and Legend. They lost to Legend. They beat Chaparral. Same thing as the Raiders. So coming in here today, Raiders trailing 6-0. Shouldn't be too much of a surprise when you look at the stats. But the Raiders still played the best teams in the state. They're a hardened team. They can come back. It's tripped up there. And, it's a touchdown game. You don't feel like the offense is going anywhere, and sometimes that can be a little bit of a killer to, the momentum of your team, especially because the momentum is in the Pine Creek favor here as they're across the sideline. Excuse me, not the sideline, the 50-yard line. That can be a little bit of a killer to your team, but you can't let it demoralize you. You have to keep calling plays that your team is good at. Roy in the shotgun here. Hill to his right. Roy will take the snap, fake the handoff, looking downfield. Pass intended there for number 7. Let me pull up my max preps. That's Alex Nelson.
And I think what I've noticed here, looking at this Pine Creek offense, every time that QB is under center, he is going to hand it off, and they are just going to run to the outside. I don't think they run it up the middle every once in a while to start off like a first down, something like that. But when it comes to these 3-and-long situations, things like that, passes, handoff to the outsides are the big ones.
Yep, handoff Budge stopped there by Macias. Looks like he met him way before the line. They'll give him, the Raiders, a very fortunate spot here. But yeah, Budge getting around that corner, as we mentioned. That's something that we'd like to see a lot of tonight from DeAndre Barnes. Is Cameron Budge the fastest man in the state? Did Cameron Budge win the 100, I believe, is what Barnes won for the state? Yep, 100. Did Cameron Budge win the 100? No, he did not. Did DeAndre Barnes win the 100? Yes, he did. Would we like to see a little more DeAndre Barnes in space? Possibly. Whistle blows another punt dead. Oh, my goodness. As soon as the refs see a punt, they're like, nope, we can't have it. We can't have it happen. We have to stop it somehow.
I'm not one to attack refs. I think they're doing their job, and they're human. They're going to mess up, but I do not like the way these calls are going tonight.
Yeah.
Something seems very off here. PIs are not being called at all. Holdings. I mean,
that's the big thing.
Holdings, PIs. There's fights after plays that I'm seeing a lot. happen. They're just not. The refs just don't. It just doesn't look like they care about that stuff.
And, we like having a good hot-blooded game here on the Raiders Sports Network. But, we also like to see a little bit of chill out there as a 1st and 10 upcoming for Pine Creek after a penalty on Regis. Pass to the middle, downed there by Padilla. Yeah, it's just frustrating. At a certain point, though, it is what it is. And, there's not much we can do about it.
And I think what Pine Creek is doing out here is exactly what we want to see for the Raider offense. I mean, doing those runs to the outside, doing those short little passes like they just did right there, that's going to move the ball. That's going to attack the defense. You don't have to play mind games with the defense. You just can attack them. You can move the ball forward. They're going to start getting that pressure on them, and they're going to start freaking out a little bit.
I think you're exactly right with that take. Roy from the shotgun looking towards the right side. Pressure on. Padgett was in there and forced a throw into the dirt. Garrett Padgett shot out of a cannon. Gap up the middle. Brought the quarterback down. Roy was able to get the pass out. Threw it straight into the dirt and a flag. A flag for what reason? We will see. Holding our breath here in the booth on the Raider Sports Network. It'll be against Pine Creek. It's what we like to see. So a 3rd and 5 will turn into a 3rd and way longer.
I think that's the big thing here. These scrappy games, this game that you're seeing right now, flags are gonna be thrown, and you're just gonna kind of want to pray that those flags aren't against your own team. And it looks like kind of win against Pine Creek here. Good for the Raiders, bad for Pine Creek, as now they're, about 20 yards off the first down, and on a 3rd down, just not good.
Yeah, give them around a 3rd and 19 here. 3rd and 21, excuse me. That's where they'll spot. Oh, they're moving farther back. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, boy. Okay.
Was
we
it a
like
holding
that.
call?
I don't think it was a holding call. I think it was a personal foul. I think they may have called a face mask. The referee signals have been a little unclear here tonight. Looks like possibly longer than a 3rd and 21, you could say.
Yeah, they are midfield now, which is not good at all. I mean, converting on this is close to impossible.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Our broadcast booth is wood, so we're good. Roy, designed rollout to the left. Pressure on in his face. Trying to wrestle him down, trying to pick a good angle, and oh my goodness, a late hit. A late hit and flags fly in. You cannot do that. A late hit to a defenseless Nuni Tuatelli as he was going out of bounds. Like we mentioned, we like a good chippy game, but when it starts getting to that, that's not really what you like to see. We like, if it's a big hit, we want it to be on the field. We want it to be clean. We don't want that. You could throw someone out for that. That was way late.
A hit on the ball is 10 times better than a hit on a player that doesn't even matter in the game anymore. I mean, the QB was past Nuni. He was out of bounds at that point. No reason to. It's just a bad decision in general.
Late hit out of bounds, while Nuni was turned around, hit him in the upper back, and led with a lot of his momentum. That's not good. Penalty there was committed by number 31, Jerry Lydat. Is that a targeting call? I forget what that signal means exactly.
I didn't exactly see it either. It's probably going to be a targeting call. Personal foul call.
Personal foul call, maybe. Yeah, I like the personal foul crossing the arms. I think the hand to the head is the target. Regardless, it's declined, and it'll bring up a 4th and a million. Call it a 4th and... Looks like 4th and around 20.
And a comment on that last play before all the little finasco that happened there. Mm-hmm. Really good. Really good defense there. Getting that QB to run outside. I mean, there's no way a QB, most likely than not, is going to pick up 20, 30 yards.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you take a good angle on him like the Raiders did. Roy had a chance to escape there, but just good edge sealing. And we mentioned good pressure from the Raiders, initial pressure from Hayden Moore on that play. And, this may be what the Raiders need to get them back into this. I wouldn't say into this game because it's a touchdown game, but just get a little bit of the momentum back. I knocked it with my elbow. I'm sorry. Just accidentally knocked the lights off in the broadcast booth with my elbow by mistake. A pitch to the outside. Medina has a hole. Good block. Macias up the middle. Anthony Medina tackled. But a fantastic run there. Speed option. Now, I know you're supposed to say, oh, Anthony Medina, highlight of the play. Great speed there, breaking tackles. If you want to watch that play back, Dallas Macias just absolutely crunched a kid in the middle of the field. That was one of the decisive blocks in that play and picked Medina up great yardage. That Thunder and Lightning duo, as we mentioned, we saw Lightning there. Carroll checks into the game as Thunder. He'll take the snap up the middle, brought down, good form tackle there in the backfield. He'll gain about half a yard maybe. They'll give him a full yard, 2nd and 9.
And talking about that last play there, a wide receiver that can block and run as fast as he can, Anthony. Dallas.
Yes.
Whoops. Oh, man. I'm just so many players.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It happens.
A wide receiver that can block is so useful on a run play, and especially a run offense like we have here.
Speed option pitch to Carroll was a little behind him. Carroll trying to cut back up the middle. He'll pick up a couple. But 3rd and probably about 7 here. Looks like
8 maybe.
It'll be a 3rd and long. Didn't necessarily say. We'll give him 8. 3rd and 8 for the Raiders. We saw 2 runs in a row. Maybe going to look to the pass game. They bring on a 4-receiver set here. Top of your screen, Barnes. Bottom of your screen, Ford. Carroll will take the shotgun snap, looking downfield. Has Barnes on a drag, gets it to him. This is what we wanted to see. DeAndre Barnes, spin move. Picks up the 1st down and moves the chains. DeAndre Barnes on a drag route. Oh, boy, it doesn't get better than that. 1st and 10 Raiders.
That's what we're saying. This secondary, these wide receivers, these tight ends, even the running back can go for a passing route. These guys can get the ball in 5 yards, 2, 3, 4 yards, and pick up an extra 2 or 3 to make it 8, 10, something like that. Big gains there. Yeah,
and you know the sign of a good team when the wide receivers are blocking well, and that's what we're seeing here tonight. Carroll out of the shotgun will take the snap, fake the handoff. Carroll cutting up the middle, stays on his feet. Xander Carroll takes a shot but holds on to the ball, and he'll be close to the 1st down. They'll mark him just short. Gain of around 8 there for Carroll.
Really good decision there to keep the ball. I mean, I think about two of the D linemen got to Xavier Carroll right away and just pulling that ball out and allowing a 8-yard gain there. It's just huge, especially for a QB.
Yeah, and, to be a QB in this offense, you have to have a lot of smarts. They run a lot of different options, as we see Carroll take the snap, bounced off a player's helmet there. That ball will fall incomplete. Another little theatrics there from number 34, doing a little bit of a backwards somersault, trying to get one there. Regardless, it'll bring up a 3rd and very short. They'll mark it as a 3rd and 2.
And I think there, it's just kind of unlucky. We talk about how great Xander is, but one of his saddest parts about him is that he is just shorter than possibly the whole O-line. So tossing it over their heads, he can't really throw that bullet pass as hard as he possibly can.
Mm-hmm. Carroll stopped up in the middle there. We don't see that often in the NFL, but if you think about one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now, Kyler Murray, has kind of the same issue. They'll say that one went backwards there. It'll be a 4th and 3 in no man's land. But, yeah, Xander might be a little shorter than his own line, but, he's
got the skill.
He's got the vision still over that O-line. He'll stay in on 4th and 3. Oh, number 13 moved early. Number 13 coming off that edge got a little too excited on a 4th and 3. Tension's running high. They're on the road. They're trying to get a little bit more of that momentum, but just went too quick. Looks like that'll bring up a Raider 1st down. And they will call offsides on number 13. Was a little worried there. I was talking a lot of smack for something that could result in, a possible false start on the Raiders. Was not. Just got a little too excited off that edge. And now Raiders in good position here as they approach the red zone to tie this game up and possibly take the lead. Carroll out of the shotgun will take the snap. Looking downfield, has Barnes one-on-one, and just a little too far for DeAndre Barnes. Will bring up a 2nd and 10.
That's what we're talking about, working that accuracy, I think Xander just isn't passing enough to where he can be totally confident in his throw. Having a QB that is confident in what he can do and what he can do well, Xander can throw the ball insanely well. Trust me, I've experienced it.
Yeah.
He just hasn't been throwing as much. He's been handing it off, running it a lot.
As we see him take it here, trying to bounce it to the outside, tackled from behind. As we mentioned, a couple of these balls have been just a little too far for receivers, but one thing I'd really like to give credit to Xander for, especially early in the season, we saw some of the best balls on fade routes. Fade routes to the end zone, targeting guys like Luke Ford. We haven't seen that too much in recent weeks. That play was really working early on, but, might want to see them bring it back here. 3rd and medium. The Raider Sports Network. Carroll out of the shotgun, looking towards his left side. Pass complete. Mexiger picks up a block from Macias, and that'll move the chains.
Carroll's pass is complete to number 87.
Notice in the last second, he's not going to get that ball. Notice in the last second, he's not going to get that ball there. He turned around almost instantly, knew exactly where he was on the field, knew where the defenders were, and was able to get that amazing block for Metzger to pick up an extra 2 yards.
Raiders trying to even this one up. Trailing 6-0. Same group will stay out on the field. Carroll in the shotgun. Carroll to his right. He'll take the snap, handoff up the middle. Xavier Carroll to about the 1.
Number 7, Carroll.
We'll give him to around the 2. They'll say a gain of 2 brings up a 2nd and goal. Raiders looking to punch it in the end zone here. Still trailing 6-0 as the weather gets colder here from Lou Kellogg Stadium. 1:30 on the clock in the second half. Up the middle, Carroll. He'll take it himself. Is he in? He is. Tie game here in Lou Kellogg Stadium. A fake on the option, so good it fooled me.
I'm saying, they're fakes. Regis' fakes. I mean, I'm always looking at that running back, and I'm like, oh, he has the ball. Next thing I know, Xander Carroll is down the field with 5 yards, holding the ball. I'm not even looking at him because their fakes are just so convincing.
Xander and Xavier Carroll have great chemistry. I just can't put my finger on exactly what it would be. It's almost like they're brothers. Murphy on to kick the extra point here. Trying to take the lead. Macias the holder. Snap, clean, hold clean. Budge almost got it off the edge, but no chance. Murphy knocks it through. And the Raiders take a 7-6 lead. We will be back with you in just a moment on the Raider Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler. We will see you in just a moment. Thank you. Back with you on the Raiders Sports Network. Hudson Ridley joined by Cam Buehler. Raiders lead 7-6 after a Xander Carroll touchdown. McCullough on to take this kickoff.
Kickoffs are one of the most scariest parts of the game, I think.
I'd have to agree. That's why they had to make them safer in the NFL, getting rid of the wedge block and things like that. It makes the game a lot safer.
It's also scary for the defense making sure that dude just doesn't get those extra yards. Great kick, though.
Yeah, squib kick there. Budge found a hole up the middle. A flag, though, on the far sideline. We'll see what it is. Possible hold. The play took longer to develop, which means more time for a hold. As we saw that squib kick go up the middle. That's something that has really hurt pretty much every team I've seen tried to field the squib kick this year, including the Raiders we saw last week against Doherty. They were up 3-0 at one point before they lost 56-3. They were up 3-0 at one point because of a bobbled kickoff, because of a squib kick. These squib kicks are dangerous. Glad to see the Raiders utilizing one here. Budge picked up yards, but, still, squib kick, he bobbled it a little. Proved to be possibly a good alternative to a deeper kickoff. Roy will take the snap here. Handoff up the middle. Hill with a spin move and gets put in the dirt. Logan Hilliard there. Second and 6 for the Eagles. We'll say a gain of 4. Roy in the shotgun. Hill staying out there to his left. Direct snap to the quarterback here, who'll take it to his left, picking up a few and making it a 3rd and manageable. We've seen that twice tonight, and we've seen a little bit of escapability from Roy, but we haven't seen enough to warrant a lot of quarterback runs. Definitely does not have the shiftiness of Carroll. A little bit taller, a little bit lankier, sometimes tougher to tackle, but also doesn't have that ability to bowl through defenders. Not in the slightest with that frame, but possibly the frame is the slightest. Oh, but I'm not a rapper.
Bars.
3rd and 1. Coming up here on the Raider Sports Network, but it won't happen. As we've reached halftime on the Raider Sports Network. Thank you for joining us for this first half. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler on the Raider Sports Network. We will see you in just a moment for second half action. Thank you so much for tuning in. Back with you now on the Raider Sports Network. Getting prepared for kickoff. We're under about a minute remaining until we kick the second half off. Low-scoring affair thus far, 7-6. People who took the over in a high school game don't even know if that's possible. Not looking good. Don't even know what it would be. But 7-6, it's been a rock fight, as you could call it. A lot of back and forth here tonight, but not a lot of scoring. One missed extra point is our difference as both teams gear up for the kickoff. Pine Creek received in the first half, meaning the Raiders will be back deep to return in the second. Got to imagine you'll see Barnes out there as he's lined up in the huddle. Always a dangerous man on kickoff returns, but looks like we also could see Macias out there if it goes to him too. He's always got the speed. We've seen multiple punt returns taken to the house this year from Macias, so kickoff and punt returning has been pretty good this season. Let's see if it continues for the second half. Again, Hudson Ridley joined by Cam Buehler. It's getting a little chillier here progressively. Thought it would be a lot colder. Brought a big winter coat. Left it in my car. Probably a pretty big mistake as it starts to get colder, but I got a long sleeve shirt on, you know. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. About to kick this one off as we expected. Barnes back deep to return this kick. Now, we can't rule out the possibility of a squib. We've seen that a lot from multiple different teams this season, and as we've mentioned, it's been effective. Getting ready to kick this one off, and we're into the second half. Kick a little bit short. Could it bounce out of bounds? It'll bounce in, looks like in the back of the end zone. A flag thrown. Doesn't look like that ball went out of bounds. Not sure if they'll call it illegal touching or illegal kick out of bounds, I mean. We'll see. We'll see. This one's an interesting one as we get ready to start the third quarter. It'll be a 1st and 10, presumably for the Raiders. Still flag on the field.
Oh, is he about to talk?
Ooh, we're waiting on it. We're waiting on it.
Nope.
You got to imagine, though, he called free kick out of bounds, even though I'm not sure if it went out of bounds. Regardless, we'll take those yardage. That yardage. Oh, man. Misspoke there. Carroll out of the shotgun here. He'll fake the handoff looking outside Macias. Macias picking up a block from Ford. Has a hole. He'll dive through it and pick up a few there. Give him a good gain. Those screens have been highly effective. You know, something that we haven't seen a lot of this year, I don't even recall seeing it once, a real running back screen. Cam, do you think you've seen that this year? I haven't seen a real we've seen wide receiver screens. We've even seen, a tight end screen or two to Metzger, but we haven't seen those running back screens. You got to imagine with the duo of Carroll and Medina in the backfield that a running back screen would be lethal. Barnes comes around formation. They'll pitch it to him. DeAndre Barnes with a chance. Picks up a block. Barnes cuts it to the middle, and he'll have enough for the first down.
Yeah, going back to those screen plays, I don't think we have seen a running back one, but, I mean, doing what we just did right there, those little screen passes to our fast wide receivers, getting that ball to DeAndre so we can get that speed going through the middle of the field and then cutting upfield. You're going to get that speed, you're going to get rolling, and you're going to get 2 to 3 yards right there.
Yeah, we also haven't seen, the offense during this season, especially in the past game, work too well north to south. But, if you get those east to west yards and turn upfield, like we see a lot with Macias, Barnes, even Ford last week, those really, really add up. Big chunk plays as handoff here. Carroll will keep, cuts it back to the middle. Carroll with a lane, picks up a block and stumbles. Had an open crease there was Carroll. Not sure if he was tripped up on the play or he fell on his own accord. If it was, that latter option there fell on his own accord. Shades of Daniel Jones. Still a very nice game. Good decision to pull it. Good vision as well to find that hole, get up the middle, and the Raiders have a first down. Good way to get out of the locker room here. They're already in to the territory of Pine Creek. 1st and 10 upcoming.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Xander has that vision, that football knowledge to know when to pull it, when to keep it, and also when to just hand it off. He doesn't have to make every play, and he knows that. That's what he's very good at.
Oh, a good misdirection there. Carroll up the middle. There'll be a flag. We'll see what it's on. This one might be coming back. Flag on the far side of the field.
Looks like we had a number 54 for Regis down on top of somebody. Don't know if that's a pancake or a foul.
I was gonna say, you know what? If an offensive lineman on top of another guy, you know what? I'm not gonna call that a hold. That's a pancake in my book. We like good pancake football here on the Raider Sports Network. Unfortunately, the referees do not like good pancake football, and we'll bring this one back. A little bit of a style disagreement here between us in the booth and them on the field. 1st and 20 on the way.
Good play, though, there. I mean, I got confused. I had no clue where the ball was for a couple seconds there, trying to figure out where it was. Can't even imagine what the defense was thinking. It looked like it could go 3 different ways there.
Pitch outside. Medina, good shoestring tackle.
Number 20, Medina on the carry.
He had the edge there and had the speed. Just a great play there from the Eagles defender to wrap up by the feet. We'll bring up a 2nd and long. They'll spot it. They're going to say 2nd and 45 on the board. Definitely not a 2nd and 45. I will say that. Okay, 2nd and 23. I was going to say I may be going crazy.
Looks like a pass play is going to probably come out of here. They're so deep in the field.
Yeah,
they want to get into, the actual, they're 3 and 10 is what you're kind of shooting for. Of course, you're always shooting. Oh,
they fooled us there, and the ball is on the ground, scooped up by Pine Creek, and the Eagles will take over. We have an injury on the field. We're going to take a quick timeout on the Raider Sports Network. We will be back with you in just a moment. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler. We will see you in a second. – 7-6 game as we see Roy under center here. Hill in the backfield, motion. And a gain there on a little end around for about 4 or 5. Gain of 4 on the play, they'll call it. That'll bring up 2nd and 6. We do apologize for the late scoreboard here on the Raider Sports Network. We are a little short-staffed tonight. I will say that. So the scoreboard is not going to, the down and distance is not always going to be the fastest, and we'll try to keep you updated on the clock. 8:30 on the clock as a handoff to Hill. Running left side, picks up a hole there, but he'll be bent backwards. Hill gaining a few there, but as we mentioned, we'll try to keep you updated. We tick under 8:30 here in the third.
Huge running plays there. They're always, as I'm noticing for Pine Creek here, they're always kind of moving it to the left. They're moving it to where they got more space, where they got more area to run, where there's dead space, especially in the field. Yeah,
especially, like you mentioned, those dead space, those open space areas with green grass ahead of them. That's what you really want as an offense. 3rd and 5 on the way. Handoff. Budge trying to get around the corner. He does so successfully. Are they going to give him the yards? He extended forward a little at the end of the play. Looks like one ref gave it to him, one ref didn't. We will see where they spot the ball. Looks like he's going to be short, and he will.
Looks like
4th down on the way, 4th and 1. Raiders going to need to make a big stop here. It's all on the line.
defensive play calling here is going to be very kind of a struggle. You're either going to blitz aggressively or you're going to kind of play it a little bit safe and make sure they don't get to that outside.
Exactly, especially if you blitz aggressively and they pull a play action. This is a very tough situation to be in. Roy under center. Will they go quarterback sneak? They'll hand it off up the middle. Hill, he's got a crease and brought down by Barnes, who's out there on defense. Picking up decent yardage there, and the clock will tick down to around 7. Yep, it'll be at 7:06 and counting. First down, Pine Creek. They trail by 1 in the third quarter. The visiting team 7-1, facing one of their tougher challenges of the season as Budge comes around formation again. They'll hand off Hill up the middle. Tuatelli met him first, drove through for a few extra yards. And some decent yardage on first down will bring up a second and around 4.
And these running backs, they're getting used so much. I'm honestly just surprised how well they're keeping themselves together. I mean, taking hit after hit and keeping that ball in your arms is a very hard thing to do, and they are doing it well.
Yeah, especially when you consider the hard-hitting power of the Raiders' defense. Handoff outside. Oh, fumble! Ball's on the ground! Did the Raiders fall on it? We'll see. Looks like it was in the hands of a Raider defender. We're not sure if it's a first down Raiders.
It might have looked like it popped out at the last second.
Where are they going to spot it?
That's Pine
Looks
Creek's
like Pine Creek dove on it. Oh, man. Oh, that's brutal. Looked like a Raider defender had it in their hands, but couldn't secure it. It'll bring up a third down, but, you know, that would be huge because it would take not only Pine Creek out of field goal range, but put the ball back in your hands. Pine Creek still probably in field goal range. We have not seen, actually, no, we have seen their kicker. He launched a missile into the stands on an extra point. So I was about to say not worried, but, you know, I can't say that, knock on wood.
Yeah, and just like I was talking there, those running backs, they're getting played so much. Stuff like that's going to start happening a lot more. That was a big hit. That ball's going to fly out of their arms.
Exactly. Well, with that timeout from Pine Creek, we're going to take a timeout here on the Raider Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler. We will see you in just a moment. Thank you. Back out of a timeout here on the Raider Sports Network. 3rd and 7 upcoming. Roy out of the shotgun, takes the snap, design run up the middle. Does he have enough? Looks like that second wind got him close to the line, but it'll bring up a 4th and short. And we know based off of these teams here tonight, you know, there's a lot of going for it on 4th and short, and looks like that's what they'll do. They'll keep the offense out here on the field for a 4th and short going up the middle. Did he get the yardage? Looks like he was stopped at the line, but they'll give him enough space as the pile moves. 1st and 10 for the Eagles.
Getting themselves in that close to basically red zone territory here. I mean,
They're in it. Yeah, they're in it.
First time, I think, actually, or like second time today that a team's been in red zone area.
Yeah, because we saw the opening score as a run goes for about 4 there from Hill. We saw the opening score come on a big splash play that didn't get in the red zone, and we saw the Raiders score come from inside the red zone. So, yes, second time a team has made it to the red zone, and we are under 4 minutes and 30 seconds in the third quarter, and we have a timeout. We'll see who it is. that will be charged against the Raiders. So we will also take a time out here on the Raider Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler. We will see you in just a moment. Thank you. Back out of a Raider timeout on the Raider Sports Network. There's a run play. There gains a couple. My sound for me is going in and out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. One might want to turn my level down because it's blowing up in my ear. Are we back? Are we back? Oh, there we go. All right.
And here, I mean, odds are you're going to go for it on fourth down if they get stopped to a fourth down, but it looks like they got it. Whoa, hold up.
Whoa, okay. Interesting. First and goal, I guess. Strange spot. Direct snap to the quarterback. Roy! Is he stopped before the goal line? They'll call him in. Roy gets into the end zone. And a 12-7 lead for the Eagles.
Yeah, I think here bringing up the, the corners and stuff like that, they're not passing it enough to where the corners have to play so aggressive. Bringing those guys up so they can close down on that, sweep to the outside, because that is just what is killing the Raider defense.
Yeah, they ran play nearly every single play of that drive as we see the two-point conversion. They're going for it. Roy scampers up the middle, and he'll tack on two more. Two-point conversion. They'll say he's in. It'll be a 14-7 game. Like we mentioned, though, a bunch of run plays to get them down into that first and goal, and then all of a sudden the Raiders, still not – they're not stacking the box when they see a bunch of these runs come to them. Instead, electing to play, a lot of DBs back there. You might want to get your tacklers on the field in that situation. So that's where we sit right now, 14-7. 3:43 on the clock in the third quarter.
Really see here if the Raider offense is going to convert here. I mean, they just have not been doing it well. They've been getting maybe one or two first downs and then just getting stopped right there. They're getting past maybe the 50, but then nothing after that.
Yeah, trying to avoid nearly what you could call a sort of end-of-the-season collapse. I mean, they lost to Cherry Creek. That's no fault of their own. Cherry Creek, very well-coached team. That's always going to be a tough matchup. Lost a heartbreaker to Legend the very next week to lose two in a row. They stomped Doherty the next week, but then as that one goes to the hands of Jaden Thermidor, it will still end up in the hands of DeAndre Barnes. Barnes up the middle, trying to look for a hole. A good return there. But as we mentioned, losing those two straight stomped Doherty, but then, the next week, you don't want to turn around and have another loss. You got to avoid a loss here at all costs. Still jockeying for playoff position. They're one of the best teams in the state, I believe. Forget what outlet had them ranked number 8. I'd say they're significantly higher than number 8 because, like they said in that description, they only lose to the best. That's what the Raiders have been doing. But a loss here tonight wouldn't mean losing to the best, so the offense is going to have to get it going. Carroll in the shotgun. To his left, Carroll will take the snap, fake the handoff outside, has Macias. Macias breaks a tackle, down the sideline, stiff arm, hit out of bounds. And he'll move the chains. Dallas Macias, some tough running there. Threw a stiff arm, said, get away from me.
Very good timing by the Xander there, getting the ball off. I think he threw it 0.2 later. Dude was hit and taken to the ground. It was just a very good pass. being pressured like that and being able to get that nice spiral on that ball.
Yeah, bang, bang play, kind of. But that'll result in the Raiders moving the chains. Carroll takes the snap, little low, looking to the outside, has targets open. He has one downfield. It's Luke Ford on the reception. Down the field, Luke Ford. The Raiders stretch the field and move the chains.
Luke Ford, I mean, that dude is just so tall. He's maybe a little bit skinnier than the rest of the guys out there, but he is so tall. You toss him up that high ball, he's going to get that every day of the week.
Mm-hmm. The last game that we were on together, that Highlands Ranch game that, by the way, won an award at the Colorado Student Media Association Awards. We should start name-dropping Best Broadcast in the State. We did win first place for that, as Carroll will take the snap, handoff. Excuse me, he'll keep it himself and get brought down. That'll be a loss on the play, but as we mentioned, earlier in the season, that high point receiver of Luke Ford in that Highlands Ranch game, there was a play before halftime where we both basically said, right here, they're going to throw it up to Luke Ford and it's going to be a touchdown on a fade route, and that's exactly what it was. So, Luke Ford has the reputation of a guy who is a high point receiver. He has that speed, too. We saw it last week against Doherty, a little end around that went the distance from about 40 yards out. So has the speed, wouldn't discount that, but definitely a high-point receiver. Carroll in the shotgun here. Will send Macias in motion. Wants him to go faster there. A flag coming in. We'll see what the call is. They'll call false start against the Raiders. So this will back them up more after that bomb to Luke Ford. Two unfortunate events back-to-back. It'll bring up a second and very long.
And I think here, just doing what they just did with Luke Ford right there, getting those passes. I mean, you got Luke out there, you got DeAndre, you got Dallas. You got these guys that can catch the ball, that are quick, fast, and dangerous, and you just need to use those.
That's exactly right. Clock ticks under 2 minutes here, remaining in the third quarter. We'll see Carroll in the shotgun here. We'll send Macias in motion again, takes the snap, looking over the middle. He has Macias. Macias, this is what we wanted to see. Receivers in open space. Picks up a good block from Carroll. And we'll get it back to make it about a 3rd and 10. The Raiders were down bad there, we could say. Fairly down bad. They bring it to around a 3rd and 11, they'll say, around there.
Very good blocking there by the wide receivers that didn't get the ball. And even, I think, Andrew Metzger was out there.
Yeah.
Huge block there by the tight end, getting basically across the whole field to make that play as a blocking man, which is just hard to do. You don't get much credit for that, but it's very useful. And just also a great pass and great running.
Snap is low. Looking towards the end zone. Barnes on a whip route to the end zone. Did he get it? They're going to mark him just short. Barnes went downfield, went on a little whip route, shook his man, got the ball, dove towards the pylon, but they'll mark him just short. And the Raiders are cooking with gasoline on a 3rd and 11, converting to a 1st and goal.
Yeah, I mean, DeAndre's so fast. Guarding him, when he makes a little stutter step, you have no clue which direction he's going to go. He's either going to turn around, he's going to go left, right, he's going to go straight still. He's just getting you off him. It's so hard to defend that.
Yeah, and Barnes was matched up against Budge, the two fastest players, you got to argue, on the field. And Barnes just proving why, again, fastest man in the state. He is that guy. Carroll will take the shotgun snap, fake the handoff. Carroll up the middle, diving towards the end zone. Will he get it? They're going to mark him just short. Oh, my goodness. Oh, they're going to... Oh, come on. Okay. I got ready for a touchdown call there. He got in the end zone, and they're going to say he's just short. All righty.
Inches.
I guess we'll just have to save that for hopefully the next play. Raiders have good power up front. We'll see if they try to move the ball that way. Having their power back. Xavier Carroll. Carroll will keep it. Trying to get in, stays on his feet. That's a touchdown. Carroll into the end zone. And the Raiders are one away from equalizing.
Good job staying up there by Carroll. I think he was wrapped up by his legs, basically, by two different people, and able just to use his body, his strength. He is a strong man.
Oh, yeah.
He is strong. And just being able to push himself to get into that end zone and get that touchdown.
It's about as strong as, you can really get for a quarterback. Both brothers, Xander and Xavier, have that, extreme amount of power as we see Murphy come on for the extra point. Extreme amount of power, lower center of gravity, which makes it tougher to tackle than a normal quarterback. Snap is good. Hold is good. Oh, nearly blocked off the edge by Budge. But that one gets through. We've seen Budge nearly blocked too, but he hasn't blocked any. So that's where we stand 14-7. 14-14. We're knotted at 14. Raiders are not down. Sorry about that. We'll take a quick time out here on the Raiders Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler. We will see you in just a moment. Thank you. McCullough on to kick this one off with the sweep of the leg. We're tied at 14 here as this one goes back deep for Budge. He'll field it, trying to cut it towards the near sideline. Budge with an angle, run out of bounds. Good angle there from Luke Ford to run him out. We'll bring up a 1st and 10. Roy and his offense will trot back out onto the field. Hill will stay in the game. A lot of tread being taken off his tires in this one. We've seen him not get good blocking up front and having to twist for extra yards, only adding on to that wear for Zion Hill. Roy in the shotgun. 3 receiver set here. Has a fullback in. He'll take the snap, handoff Hill. Will only get around 1 there. They're going to spot him and give him 2.
That's the defense, though, that we really need to see. When they push it through the middle, they're not getting anywhere. When they take it to the outside, on the other hand, that's when they're getting those 5 to 6 yard gains.
Mm-hmm. So with that, we're going to take it to the 4th quarter. Thank you for joining us through 3 quarters of play. Good action here on the Raiders Sports Network, knotted at 14. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler. We will see you in just a moment. Thank you. As the 4th quarter here on the Raiders Sports Network. Pine Creek will start with the ball. Handoff Budge looking to the outside. Good tackle, Hayden Moore. He was coming off hot off that edge. Budge, their fastest receiver. Moore able to shed his block from the wide receiver, come back over, make that tackle. Good play there. 3rd and 5 now.
Really here what I'm predicting is going to happen, not for sure, but they probably going to run it to the top half of the screen.
Yeah.
On a basically sweep play that they've been doing for the past whatever. I mean, whole
3 quarters.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where the green grass is.
That's
so
where the grass is. Oh,
they'll elect to pass instead. Looking downfield, pressure from Tuattel. He's on, and Metzger gets him. The Raiders rally for the first sack of the game from their end. And a good flip of field position. We have an injury on the field, so we're going to take a quick timeout on the Raiders Sports Network. We'll be back with you in just a moment. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler. See you in just a sec. back with you on the Raiders Sports Network after a massive sack brings up a 4th and 21. Gotta imagine the punt team comes out onto the field here. We are in the fourth quarter. I apologize. It said third quarter on the screen. As we mentioned, we're shorthanded here today on the Raiders Sports Network. Producing and play-by-play at the same time, not always the easiest. Tough to juggle two things at once. So we see a punt on the way, hopefully a punt. Gotta imagine.
Yeah.
Fake punt from the other team is always scares me, But, it's pick your poison when you have Macias back there deep as a returner. Already returned multiple punts for touchdowns this year, including a beauty last week. Probably the best I've ever seen. He'll decide to fair catch this one here at around the 49-yard line, and that's where the Raiders will start with a 1st and 10. Game knotted at 14. Raiders looking to have a big drive here, hopefully putting up 7 on the board. 11 minutes even on the clock in the fourth quarter. So the Raider offense will come back out onto the field.
I think the Raider offense, especially from the last drive, has kind of learned something new. Those pass plays are working. I think, Pine Creek's secondary just is not as strong as their front guys.
Oh, yeah.
Their front guys are very good at what they do. They're shutting down the run, but their secondary just is not shutting down the speed of our wide receivers at all.
Yeah, exactly. Not just the speed of the wide receivers, too. We've seen Andrew Metzger burn him a few times from that tight end spot. So, they have a lot of speed out here. It might be time to capitalize on these defensive backs. Is just no flag thrown on the field, but they're going to call flag. Okay, well, all right. Maybe it was a hold. Maybe it was some. I don't know. When they're calling flags and doing penalties, they're not throwing the flags out here on the field. It'll still be a 1st and 10, but this will or at least push the Raiders back field position wise, and they'll start from their own half instead of the Eagles' half. You know what? We'll have a little bit of Eagle slander here, too, tonight. Shout out my English teacher, Dr. Bowers, noted hater of the band The Eagles. We'll channel some of that energy for the fourth quarter. Carroll sends Macias in motion, takes the snap, handoff. Carroll up the middle, breaks a tackle. Carroll picks up a block and gets that first down.
The O-line there, huge hole that they created there for Carroll to get through. I mean, Carroll's a big guy. You need those. Oh, he's... Never mind. Looked like he was injured for a second, so I was going to stop talking there. But huge hole created there, getting Carroll through there and getting those big yards. I mean, a 10-yard run when tonight we've been getting 2 to 3 yards is huge.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Xavier Carroll, one of my good friends off of the broadcast. Not sure if we mentioned this tonight. Received an offer from Bethany earlier in the week. We know he can play at the next level. He has that ability. So we're excited to see where the rest of his journey takes us as Metzger in motion, fakes the handoff. Carroll up the middle, has a hole, bulldozing over a defender. And they'll mark him short of the first down, but it'll be a 2nd and 1. So just short. Yeah, as we mentioned early in the game, a lot of what you see from scrambling quarterbacks, they're shifty, but, they'll slide to avoid a hit. And, well, sometimes that can be the smart play. A lot of these guys aren't built with the size of Xander Carroll in terms of, center of gravity. So it can make it a little difficult. That's why Carroll doesn't always have to slide, because he can run through a few guys. He'll send Metzger in motion, but a false start there on the offensive line will send the Raiders back, and that yardage that they just gained will get wiped off the board.
Small little mistakes like that, they just hurt the team. It's always a mental game with that stuff, knowing when to go, knowing when it's going to happen. And it also hurts mentally when you do mess up, because right when you mess up, you're like, instantly, I've messed up, I hurt the team. It's not just me. The whole team gets injured, basically, because of my mistake. You start getting your mental head, but getting out of that is just as important.
Exactly. You have to correct, as that'll bring up a 2nd and 6. You have to correct on that, as Macias will head in motion. Carroll takes the snap. He'll send this one over the middle into the hands of Barnes, but a good play there by the defensive back to knock that one out. Coverage made on the play there by number 1, Ramon Pacheco. So a 3rd and 6 upcoming. 9 minutes and 18 seconds on the clock. Raiders trying to improve their record and add a second loss to the Pine Creek column. So we'll take the snap here. Looking over the middle. Pass tipped at the line. Just unfortunate there. Had a few receivers that got open, but looks like a hand could have gotten in there to bat that one. And Garrick will come on to punt.
Yeah, really unlucky there. I mean, great play there. You got to admit, great play there by the D-line, getting their arms up and just swatting that ball. It's a hard thing to do. It may look a little bit easier, but it's a mix of luck and skill that you're going to hit the ball.
Yeah, exactly. You got to have timing, but a lot of that is luck. Oh, and nearly the punt went down to about the 1 or the 2, but, took an unfortunate Raider bounce. And that is where we will leave things as a 1st down and 10 upcoming for Pine Creek. Game still knotted at 14. 9:05 on the clock. A back and forth game. You know what this reminds me of, Cam? It reminds me of Big Ten football. Not a lot of points on the board. It can be a little bit of a rock fight. Both teams going at it, and a lot of punts. You know what? At the end of the day, Big Ten still produces a lot of NFL players, so style of game, not always the worst.
No, it's a big defensive game here. Defensive games, they might be considered not as entertaining because, not everybody's scoring the touchdown, but it's a very good game. A defensive game is a very good game for the team.
Yeah, exactly. And it may not be great for all facets of the team, especially, the offense. You're definitely going to want to put up points. But at the same point that if it's a defensive game, your defense is holding, that can sometimes be the most unreliable part of a unit is the defense, because the offense, you can execute and bend it to your will. But the defense, it's not always set in stone, as we see a run here from Roy to the right side. He'll pick up a few, but not enough for a 1st down, not even close. It'll bring up a 3rd and medium. They'll call it a 3rd and 5 as we tick down under 8:15 in the 4th quarter.
And here, they've kind of switched up. They've been passing a little bit more. It hasn't been working out as well. Expecting a run kind of downside of the screen to the more open field. But they can also throw in a pass here. We just really don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, runs to open space have been big for this offense, but as Hill shifts to the other side, might want to expect a pass here. We'll see. It will be a pass looking towards the sideline. Ball thrown incomplete, and a 4th and 5 upcoming. You can't go for it in this territory, I wouldn't imagine. Yep, as the punter comes out onto the field. You got to be very gutsy to do that. That'd be like a Brandon Staley, head coach of the Chargers. That's a Brandon Staley move. This coach for the other team, definitely not Brandon Staley. Not going to go for it on a 4th and 5 from your own territory. Smart play. Punt is off. This one, a wobbler. Macias can't field, but wrapped up there by Barnes. Sure-handed Macias. There's not much you can do on a wobbler like that. That one, we've seen him field some crazy punts before, but that one had so much unpredictability on the spin that, 10 times out of 10, or at least 9 times out of 10, you're not coming up with that ball. Glad that Barnes, it looks like it was Barnes who dove on it there.
Yeah.
It'll bring up a 1st and 10 for the Raiders.
Whether that was planned or not, great punt there. It's when that ball is moving like that and you're looking at it, you start to psych yourself out. This ball is looking weird. I'm not sure if I can get this. It hits your hands and it just flies away.
Yeah, exactly. And, good timing still by the Raiders to have someone to dive on it, but that is terrifying. Definitely not on purpose. You can see he stretched his leg out to reach that one. But, yeah. Snap up the middle here. Carroll fighting off tacklers. Carroll bouncing it to the outside, picking up a block. Xavier Carroll to the sideline and picking up a 1st down. Big hole for Carroll as the Raiders will move the chains in. Oh, my goodness, was there a flag? Oh, a flag. Oh, my goodness. Oh, did they throw the flag this time? At
Doesn't
least
look
if
like
they.
it.
If,
I don't see a flag. I didn't see
oh
a
my
flag.
goodness! I was about to say maybe it's excusable if they actually throw the flag onto the field to signal that it's a flag. They're not even throwing the flag out onto the field. Where did the flags go? Have they disappeared? Did they magician trick it and put it in their pocket somehow? It just disappears. I have no idea. Regardless, this run will come back, and oh my goodness!
I don't even know what the call was. A holding?
I don't think they explained it.
I mean, it looks like the head coach for the Raiders, Philman,
Yeah,
is very
Philman's livid.
confused.
Philman's livid, and rightfully so. I mean, where I would say, like, maybe it was on a certain sideline. We can't even get a sideline because they didn't throw the flag on the field. Referee has said nothing about it. He said earlier in the game, turn my PA system down. I think he just wanted it shut off because he has given no explanation here. First and around 15. And oh my goodness, are they pushing him back again? Oh my goodness.
Looks like the team is also a little riled up. I would be too. Calls like that, when you get a huge play like that and you get called back for something you don't even know what you did wrong, you're going to be mad.
Exactly. They're still discussing it. I mean, I know it's very broadcaster specific, but not having the flag thrown out there and still calling a penalty is starting to get on my, not even starting to get on my nerves, has definitely gotten on my nerves because it really adjusts the way that you treat the play. And right now, we're not seeing that as the first down mark. It's going to move again. Are they just redoing it? I don't know what's going on. Clearly, they've got some heat warmers somewhere in their pants and their hands, something like that, to keep them warm, or else they wouldn't try to be prolonging this game as they pick up the flag, and rightfully so. Carroll's big run will stand. And after all of that, we're right back where we started. Move those chains. Move those chains. Come on.
I don't even know what the original call was that got picked up.
Wait, never mind. Are they not moving them the full way? They picked up the flag.
That's they got a first down on it.
What is this? What is going on?
The refs don't even know.
Please figure this out.
Let's move away from the refs. Very hot topic at the moment.
Yes.
Talking about the play there. It was very good. It was a very good play, and it's moving up.
There we go. Let's go. But like you mentioned, very good play. Carroll shaking off those tacklers, was able to throw some stiff arms and get to the sideline. The clock will run. It from time to time, it gets a little frustrating here with that, and sometimes you can hyper-focus on some stuff like that. But, the Raiders had a first down, got moved all the way back, got moved farther back, got moved back up to the original line of scrimmage, and then they got given the first down again. And no time has ticked off the clock. So we tick down to around 7 minutes remaining. Tuatelli across formation here. Carroll out of the shotgun will send Macias in motion. Fakes the handoff. He'll pitch it outside. Macias trying to beat a tackler. He will. Has the angle. Dallas Macias will step out of bounds after picking up a first down.
I will be real there. No clue where the ball was. I was looking exactly at Xavier. I was like, man, he got picked up right away. And then you said Xander with the ball. I moved over there. Great speed by Dallas. Just picking up those yards, breaking that tackle, and getting – he didn't get the first down. Getting to, 9 yards there is huge. I mean, more than 9 yards technically, but getting 9 yards and getting close to that first down.
Yeah, they'll mark them close, as you mentioned. Both Carrolls in the backfield here. Tuatelli in motion. Xander will take the snap, fake the handoff up the middle. It's not going to get much here. We'll see if they give him the first down. Toss down after the play there.
Surprised no flag there.
Yeah, no, they're not going to give it. Parents wanted one, but at the end of the day, it's playing through the whistle.
Yeah, it's football.
That's hard-nosed football. You're playing through the whistle. Hey, I'm not gonna hate on it. That's hard-nosed football. Third and 1. Sorry, thought he picked it up on the yardage. They're gonna say he didn't gain anything there. We'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
I would like to make a prediction here, but I actually just can't because I
Yeah.
have no clue what they're going to do.
I mean, it's tough. I would run it in this spot, 3rd and 1, and with the time on the clock ticking down to 6 minutes, this is 4-down territory right here. Metzger in motion across formation. He'll get set. Carroll will hand off. Carroll up the middle. Looks like he got it. That'll move the chains. Ball comes out, but forward progress for sure. That'll be a 1st and 10 for the Raiders.
And the chains are being moved.
Let's go. A rock fight here at Lou Kellogg Stadium.
Really good job there, just getting the yards that you need. I mean, he didn't have to make an amazing play to get 5 to 10 yards. He just needed that one single yard, and that's what he did.
Good execution by both teams thus far. But, through almost 4 quarters of play, we're tied 14-14. This is the kind of game that on paper may make you think the sport is moving backwards. As a toss there, Barnes into open space, picking up blocks, trying to make a cut, and he will. Gets taken down close to the 1st down marker, and the clock will continue to move. It'll be a 2nd and very short here. Call it around 2nd and 2.
Very good blocking there by the other wide receivers, and I also think a tight end might have been in there. I'm not 100% sure on that, but just good blocking, allowing DeAndre to get to the outside a lot more, getting to that sideline, and then going and getting those extra couple yards.
Yeah, and, the original toss looked a little off the mark. Barnes had to, field that in a tough position, but did so, turned his head upfield, and got those yards as Metzger will go in motion left to right side of the formation. Snap high, handoff Carroll. He's got a hole. Xavier Carroll up the middle, breaking tackles and getting down to the goal line. Will they spot him in the end zone? They won't. 1 yard short.
There, what I did notice, that defensive end totally collapsed. I don't even know I'm not 100% sure what he collapsed on. He must have saw something, and he made that decision to leave the running back just out in the open. And it's just what you can't be doing that. I mean, he's going to run through your secondary because he's just so big. You need your D-line to stop Xavier because he's just so huge and so powerful.
Yeah, especially with there was no linebacker help. There was no safety help on that side of the field. If you're a defensive end, you got to play the run there to an extent just to start out because, you have no help behind you. As Carroll will take the snap, handoff up the middle. And all 3 touchdowns tonight coming from Carroll's. 2 from Xander, 1 from Xavier, and the Raiders take a 20-14 lead.
Couldn't see the play that well, but just knowing it, good blocking, allowing him to get through that. I think the O-line this drive especially has just been top tier. They've been making those huge holes for those running backs to get through.
Yeah, and through the first 3 quarters, we weren't seeing a whole lot of holes on those zone runs, but since then, the blocking has really picked up, and as you mentioned on this drive, creating massive holes with those zone runs. We see Carroll taking one into the end zone there. Murphy's extra point is good. So with 4:01 on the clock, the Raiders lead by 7. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler. We will be back with you in just a moment on the Raider Sports Network. Thank you. McCullough on to kick this one deep, possibly, maybe a squib. Could we see a squib here? I would assume not, based on the time on the clock. Squib's a gamble. We shall see. McCullough. This one's a little low, a little bit of a line drive, and we'll go out of the back of the end zone here for a touchback. So a 1st and 10 upcoming. When both teams take the field. Pine Creek's offense. 4 minutes and 1 second on the clock. Pine Creek trailing by 7.
And I think really here, if Pine Creek gets down the field to like the 30 and then gets stopped, that is going to be the worst case scenario for them, because so much time is going to be lost getting to that 30 and then nothing coming out of it.
And like we said, we were talking during the breaks about this Raiders bend don't break defense. Is a flag to start already. Could be a false start on the O-line there. We'll see what it is. But, yeah, we were talking during the break about this Raiders bend don't break defense. And, you know, the bend coming, like you said, to like the 30-yard line, even at one point the 27-yard line, but not breaking a penalty on the Raiders. Okay. 1st and 5. Looks like the Raiders went first there. So Pine Creek will gain 5 yards and have 4:01 on the clock. Last time we saw this game with Pine Creek go to, I believe, a game-winning field goal from Jaden Olson. We'll see if that happens again. Shotgun snap here off the edge to Atelli. Got good pressure on. Oh, and a massive shot. Whoa! Garrett Paget just lit him up. Oh, man.
That hit there is a QB is the star of your offense. You hit him with a hit I heard it from there. A hit as huge as that. Oh, whoops. A hit as huge as that. The QB is going to be a little scared now. You don't want to get hit like that again, especially when you're mid-throw and you hurt that arm. I think you got hit from the throwing arm side, right?
Yeah, he did.
So that's going to hurt you a lot more. That's going to make the QB scared. He's not going to want to, when he sees somebody coming out, he's going to just dish that away and not have a great pass.
So that will be a holding on the offense, and we'll move them back. You know, that's quite unfortunate for Pine Creek to have your quarterback just take a massive hit. I can't stress how big of a hit that was. Take an absolutely massive hit, and you're still moving backwards. This one is spotted way deep here. Clock will run. It'll be a first and a long way. Substitutions coming onto the field here. It'll be a 1st and 25 is what the board says. We'll copy them. Taking the shotgun snap here, dropping back deep into his end zone. Pressure's on. Nearly taken down from behind from Metzger, and he's just going to throw it to the sideline. Good pressure from Andrew Metzger. And a flag on the play. Could it be intentional grounding or roughing the passer? I saw someone in the crowd say roughing the passer.
That's what I was talking about. That QB, he's going to see 2 people coming at him, 2 huge guys. He's going to just throw that away. He does not want that ball.
Exactly, and Metzger was the one who got the pressure there. Not sure if this is going to be intentional grounding or late hit on the quarterback. Metzger already had him in his arms as the ball was going away. There's nothing you can really do about that. We'll see what they end up calling. .3:29 on the clock. We'll see where they march this one. They'll call roughing the pass.
Personal foul there.
Personal foul on the Raiders.
There's not much you can do. I mean, he was coming down with him already.
Oh, but did we have offsetting penalties possibly? The spot is not moving. Okay, there we go. Looks like we could have had offsetting penalties. So after that, we're still going to have a 1st and now it's 20. 3 minutes and 29 seconds on the clock. 1st and 20 for Pine Creek on their own 10-yard line. Roy in the shotgun will roll out to the right side. Pressure on to Atelli. Takes a shot downfield and misses.
Yeah, that QB down there is just getting lit up almost. I think that's 3 plays in a row he's been on the ground, which is just not good at all.
Yeah, that doesn't translate well from your offense when your quarterback is getting shelled there in the pocket. Like you mentioned, 3rd play in a row probably, and, you know, last drive we saw it happen again where, you know, big hits on Roy. Staying in there, though, fighting through it. 2nd and 20. Pine Creek still down 7. 3 minutes, 23 seconds on the clock. Hill in the backfield, not sure how much they'll use him here. Definitely a passing situation. Wind against them. It'll be another design rollout. They'll look towards the other side. Just gets it past the hands of Tuatelli, but they can't escape. Tony Padilla.
Really
Padilla wraps up.
Really good pickup there. I mean, just knowing that he's their basically star player out there. Wide receivers haven't been showing too much for Pine Creek, so the running backs are their star players. Tony just staying on him, not allowing him to basically turn around at all. He caught the ball and got hit almost immediately.
It was a good form tackle, too. Out in open space, a tough tackle to make is it'll bring up a 3rd and 20, and you just have to contain him here. You can't allow a big play. A big play dooms you as Roy rolls out to his right side looking downfield. He'll throw interception! Brooks Gehrig, the senior, coming up big in the last game of the regular season at Luke Kellogg Stadium, and the Raiders will take over.
I was a bullet. I think that was a pass to our team, honestly.
Yeah?
He might have been going for the curl route, but even if he was, there was 2 guys on him. There was no open wide receivers at all in that play. That play was dead from the start.
Yeah, and, Roy taking that shot, just bulleting that pass right there. I mean, Brooks Gehrig, we already know he has hands, right? But that's a special kind of athlete there because, you think of him, good coverage skills there, read the play well, read the QB's eyes, picked that ball off, and got out of bounds. Would almost surprise you that he's not a football player first. Gehrig committed to the School of Mines as a pitcher. The Raiders will take over on 1st down. Carroll in the shotgun, still 2:35 on the clock. Probably going to want to score here as Carroll will just take this one. Looks like may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, maybe losing a yard.
That looked like a very painful fall there, and I think he is coming out of that injured. It looks like he kind of fell on his leg weird.
Mm-hmm. We're going to take a quick time out here on the Raider Sports Network. We will be back with you in just a moment. On the, excuse me. Oh, we had a little bit of a crackle in there as we get back into, my mic. Oh, is it back? Oh, there we're on. So we had a little bit of a mic disturbance there. 2nd and 12. Clock continues to run as we approach 2 minutes remaining. We're at 2:15 currently. Carroll in the shotgun has Harris to his left. Probably going to look to take more time off of this clock and put points on the board, making it a 2-score game and putting it out of reach for the Eagles. Taking the snap, faking the handoff. Carroll in the pocket, steps up, gaining extra yardage there, and will bring up a 3rd and long.
I think here really the best decision to make, even though running down the clock does seem nice, it seems safe, going for that touchdown is going to seal off that game. Pine Creek's offense, we were talking about it a little bit. Pine Creek's offense, especially this 4th quarter, has not been doing what they were doing before. The defense is shutting them out.
Now, you could consider, though, wind in your favor, a good kicker like Ty Murphy. This could be a spot to run it up the middle, run some more clock, pick up some more yards, and make it a 2-score game. You got to put faith in Murphy here, but I have it. Carroll in the shotgun here. Harris behind him. He'll send Macias in motion behind the formation. He'll pitch to Macias. Macias towards the sideline. Run out of bounds and a flag. A flag after the play ends. Did they force him out of bounds? Not sure. Clock will stop, though, at 1:08. We'll see what the call is here. Now, this is a difficult decision, though, for Pine Creek, because if you accept this penalty, Raiders still in field goal range. Even though the clock is stopped, they're still in field goal range. They can still add 3. You decline it. Clock is still at 1:08. Raiders get pushed out, or accept it. The Clock still at 108. Raiders get pushed out of field goal range, but then they have another opportunity to run more clock. You're in a difficult bind here if you're the Eagles head coach.
And I think they declined it looks like. Bringing it to a 4th down here. Probably going in for a field goal.
You have to at this point. But it looks like we'll have a timeout first. So with that timeout, we're going to take a timeout here on the Raider Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler. We'll see you in just a moment. Thank you. Now, we don't get many field goal opportunities here for this Raiders team, but we'll get one in a clutch situation. Ty Murphy trying to make it a 2-score game. 4th and 7. Macias will be the holder. Long snapper to Atelli. We've seen near blocks off the bottom side of your screen. Watch the bottom side of your screen. They have to hold up. Snap is high. Kick is up. Is it good? It has the leg, and it splits the uprights. 2-score game here at Lou Kellogg, and the air horns sound.
I'm not going to seal anything away. Knock on wood here, though. That looks like it's going to be the end of the game for Pine Creek. Scoring 2 times in a span of what?
Minute and 4 seconds.
Yeah, minute and 4 seconds is
difficult to say the least.
Yeah, difficult to say the least. I mean, Regis is just going to send out a kick. They're probably going to start probably from like the 25-yard line, and getting it down to the 50 in a minute is going to be challenging.
Exactly, and especially from these last few drives we've seen out of the Eagles. In the first half, the offense was moving, getting to open space. But now in the second half, we haven't seen that much, as the referee is just going to talk to no one here. We don't know. I don't know what he's saying. Right now, not really that important. Regardless, 1:04 on the clock. Raiders lead by 10. As we mentioned, though, first half, Eagles offense was moving. Second half, not as much, trying to make up a 10-point deficit in a minute and 4 seconds. Raiders have to hold. And we'll see if this gets spotted somewhere differently. The referee was talking before the play. They're still talking. And the players will just head to the sidelines. All right. Well, with that, we're going to take a quick timeout here on the Raider Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler. Oh, are they coming back out? Oh, they're coming back out. Never mind.
Well, okay. I just want to say something here. What I really think is happening, I just wonder why the Pine Creek offense is kind of, compared to the third quarter even, is not playing as well. And I think it's what I've been talking about of those running backs are tired. Those running backs are dead right now. They've been hit and hit and hit. They don't want to run them too much. They don't want to get them injured. There's still season left to play. They don't want to get them injured at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So that's why they're passing more, but their passing game just is not there.
Yeah, and they've had a lot of passing downs thus far. Like we mentioned, they got in a tough situation early on in the last drive and had to pass their way out of it. Couldn't do so successfully. McCullough to kick this one off. Raiders up 10, 1:04 on the clock in the fourth quarter as this one heads deep. Fielded now with a chance. Trying to cut it up the middle, and he'll be brought down. Good tackle there. And Pine Creek will start deep in their zone.
That was a really good tackle there by number 8 for the Raiders. He came from the outside, saw him, kept him inside, which is really what you want to do. You get that. He is fast. You get that man outside. You get him on the sideline. He's gone. So really good play there.
Yeah, that sideline speed of Budge, as we mentioned, that's what one of their touchdowns came from tonight. Backup quarterback in the game now will take the snap, dropping back deep, looking to pass. He'll heave this one all the way downfield. It's a jump ball, and DeAndre Barnes, fastest man in the state. He's got some hands, too. Interception to seal the deal here at Lou Kellogg Stadium. And the Raiders will take down 7-1 Pine Creek at home.
Yep, like we said there, their passing there is not good. To be honest, it's also just the Raider defense. The Raiders secondary there, 0 openings. I mean, all wide receivers were covered by at least one man. On that single area right there was 3 Raiders compared to, I think, 2 wide receivers.
Yeah, he just had to heave that one up there. It's going to be pretty unfortunate if you're a stats guy to look at QBR for Cameron Cooper, only a freshman, so he has time to redeem himself, but 1 pass in this game going for an interception. At least he showed he had some arm strength there, and he found a receiver. That receiver just happens to play for the Raiders, as this kneel down will happen, and the game will tick down. We're going to need one more kneel to send this one home, but the Raiders improving here to 6-3. We will see you next week at Douglas County, the coldest game of the year, every single year, for some football action for the Raiders. Good win here tonight. Raiders advance to 6-3. Pine Creek drops to 7-2. So with that, for the Raider Sports Network, I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler. We will see you for next week's action from Douglas County. Thank you for tuning in.